9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Latino Diaspora. For the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel, what we do here is we discuss issues pertaining to Latinos in the United States. Of course, I have my main channel, which is known as Uncommon Sense While Standing Wrong, where I talk about everyday issues and we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So that's why it's called Uncommon Sense. I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And also, the subscriber mode has been enabled, meaning if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. Okay? As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who've already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been a supporter from the very beginning or just recently joined. I really appreciate your love and support. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow my social media, as well as those who allow me to enter into your devices, and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So, what I'm going to ask you to do if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notifications to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. So, as you can see by the thumbnail, the topic for tonight is the check is in the mail. This is not going to be a long stream. I'm just going to be talking to you about economic checks, for lack of a better term, that's being mailed to New Yorkers. We've seen several states doing the same thing, so I'm going to share some information about that. But before we go on to the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. Now, first of all, I'm going to be talking about next week's schedule um, on my stream on my main channel tomorrow night. But just want to let you know, next week I will not be doing it live. I may do a couple of shorts due to the fact that I'm going to be going away next weekend. I'm going to be participating in what's called delegate training, where every year we learn how to be effective delegates, effective reps, to represent our membership. And this year we're going to be going away. So I'll be away from Thursday the 9th, and I'm coming back on Sunday. So I'm not going to have any time to produce any content during those days. So basically, my schedule is going to be Sunday night. Next week's schedule is going to be Sunday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night. Okay. I might go live on Wednesday at 11 p.m. We just have to wait and see. And of course, one thing to bear in mind, tomorrow is the anniversary of my father's passing. Tomorrow will mark 13 years that my father passed away. And of course, I'm going to have, dedicate a few words to remember my father. Okay, and he the most perfect father? No, he was flawed, but he was my father, nonetheless. And he did have a very long life. So this time of the year is, is bittersweet because I have the memory of the passing of my father a couple of days before my birthday, and then of course Tuesday is my actual birthday, where I will be 63 years old. Okay, and of course I'm blessed that the good Lord has allowed me to live another year of life. Okay, especially in light of the fact that tomorrow is not promised to anybody. So any day that you're given, you should be thankful for it and try to make the most of it. And on my main channel, I'm doing very well. In fact, I'm inching my way to 800 subs, and there's a possibility I might reach 900 subs by the end of the year, which will definitely um, I should reach my goal of 1K subs. Of course, the issue is trying to get view time, increase it. Um, so I'm going to try to do some things to try to increase the view time. Because at some point I would like to be monetized. Um, while I realized that at the beginning I'm not going to make a great deal of money, but it would be nice to be monetized, of course. And of course, we have to bear in mind that this is October, so it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, also Domestic Violence Month. So I will definitely have a live regarding violence and probably do something regarding cancer awareness and that nature. And of course, I'm going to, research to make sure I can get it with some it. So, with that being said, we're going to get into the next topic. Now, before I continue, let me just state for the record that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to hit the link and opine, they can do so. However, let me make this perfectly clear. If I've never seen you before, if I've never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up on the backstage to make sure that no one flashes anything inappropriate, particularly when I mean appropriate, attempt to flash any pornographic material, which will lead the people of YouTube to take down their string. Once I have determined that you are going to comply with the rules set aside on my side of home, you will be allowed on the panel. Okay. Again, let me make this perfectly clear. I'm not going to be long, but I just want to, share some information regarding checks that New Yorkers would that have started. So what I'm going to do is share my screen. Hopefully, but actually, what they are called is inflation refund checks. These are checks that are being issued to taxpayers, and there's certain criteria that are being set. Okay. It's been done in several states, but now New York is entering the fray, so to speak. And of course, this is from the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance. And of course, anything there are always going to be people that are going to try to scam people, other than money. Let me just the scam alert. Carriers are calling, mailing, and texting people about income refunds, including an inflation refund check. The tax department is not contacting taxpayers about New York State inflation refund checks. You do not need to provide us with additional information to receive the check. If you're contacted about inflation refund check with someone supposedly from the tax department, report it. So let's go on. The 2025 New York State budget provides for the state's first ever inflation refund checks. These one-time payments provide relief to New Yorkers who have paid increased sales tax due to inflation. If you qualify for a payment, you do not need to do anything. We will automatically send you a check. Checks will be mailed over a period of several weeks, starting the end of September of 2025. So the good news is you don't have to do anything. Okay? Okay? So now let's talk about what is the eligibility. Okay? You are eligible for a refund check if for tax year 2023 you filed a form IT 201 New York State resident income tax return. Reported income with qualifying threshold below and not claimed as a dependent on a no one's taxpayer's return. In plain short English, you have to file your taxes for tax year 2023. You have to have reached a certain threshold, and you cannot be claimed on someone else's tax return. And if you are claimed by someone else's tax return, you will not get the refund check. So now we're going to talk about what is the actual amount and what is the filing status. Okay. So if you are single, okay, and your New York State adjusted gross income from Form ID 201, line 33, if your income, adjusted gross income, is $75,000 or less, you will receive a refund check up to $100. Now, if your income is more than $75,000, but not more than $150, you will receive a check of $150. Now, for those who are married and filed jointly, if your combined income is $150,000 or less, you will receive a refund check of $400. However, if your income is more than $150,000, but less, not, more, but not more than $300,000, then you will receive a refund check for $300. Now, for those who are married and filing separately, okay, each spouse, if their income is $75,000 or less, each person will receive a check up to $100. Now, if you receive more than 75,000 but less than 150,000, you will receive a check of $150. Now, if you're a head of household, okay, let's say you're filing a single adult, but you're claiming someone, either a child or another adult. If your income is $75,000 or less, you will receive a check of $200. Now, if your income is more than 75,000, but less than 150,000, then you will receive a check of $150. Now, if you are the qualifying surviving spouse, in other words, widow or widower, and your income was 150,000 or less, then you will receive a check of $400. If your income was more than 150,000 but less than 300,000, then you'll receive a check of $300. Now the question is the $64,000 question is, when will you get the money? Okay. Now these refund checks will be eligible to taxpayers starting at the end of September of 2025. Over 8 million New Yorkers will receive refunds, and this large percentage of checks will be mailed over multiple week periods. You may receive a check sooner or later as your neighbors, as mailings is not based on zip code or region. The Department of Taxation cannot provide specific delivery schedule, and our contact center representatives will not have additional information on the status of the check. In other words, you just gonna have to wait. Okay. Now this is what the check will look like. It will come from the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance. It will have your name, your address, and your address. And these are the common questions that people will ask about it. Refund. Do I need to apply for this inflation refund check? And the answer is no. We'll automatically send you a check if you meet the eligibility criteria, which I discussed. Where will my inflation check be mailed to? And the answer is, if you're eligible, one check will be mailed to the address associated with your most filed tax return. If your current address was used for your 2024 file tax return, the inflation refund check will be mailed to that address. Now, what if you move since you file your 2024 tax return? Can you update the address with the department? And yes, using your individual online account. Now, here's an interesting question. I have my income tax refund deposit automatically deposited in my bank account. Would the inflation check be automatically deposited as well? No, the check will be mailed. Now, here's an interesting question. I did not file a New York State resident income tax return for 2020. Will I receive a check? No. The department will return eligibility based on the income reported on your tax return. Will mail checks to taxpayer with a 2023 income tax return file department. Now, here's another question. I was part I was a part-year resident of New York's income, but I received a refund check. No, you must be a full-year New York resident to receive an inflation refund check. So basically, you have to be residing in New York for the entire 12-month period. And the final question, which is interesting. My 2023 refund check was applied to outstanding debt. Will my inflation refund be applied to an outstanding debt? No, the amount of inflation refund will not be applied to any outstanding debt. So if you want to get more information regarding the economic refund checks, go to the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance. And we're going to stop. Okay. Okay. So basically, that is the information regarding your economic refund check. Okay. Now, New York is not the first state that has issued these type of checks. There have been checks that have been issued several states. Okay. Now you're probably thinking, $200 or $400 is not a great deal of money. I agree, and it's not a great deal of money. Okay, basically, it's more or less grocery money. Okay, however, it's $200 more than what you had originally, or $150 more than you had originally, or $400 more than you had originally, or 300 more than you had originally. Okay, but it's gratifying to know that you're getting a refund check and that you didn't have to do anything. The only thing you had to do was file a tax return for 2023, 2024. So I just wanted to share this information um, regarding these inflation refund checks. So let's see. Let's look at something. So among the other states that issue these type of checks are the states of California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, South Carolina, and Virginia. In Virginia, they issue rebate checks um, um, up to $250 for individuals. In South Carolina, they issue refund checks totaling up to $800 in some cases. So as you so this in other states, amounts will vary. Okay, you have some states that were able to issue these checks, to a larger amount. Others a smaller amount. Okay, and of course you don't have to declare this as income when you pay your taxes in 2020. Let me just check and see. If, okay, I'm just checking if anybody's watching. So basically, that's the situation regarding these refund checks that that being issued in the state of New York. And as you can see, other states have done that. Now, when is your state going to do that? Issue these checks if they have not done so. I would suggest that look up the information in your state's Department of Taxation and Finance. So I just wanted to share a little information regarding refund checks And some people already got it already, and just to let you know what the checks will look like. Now, I will be live tomorrow night at my main channel at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'll have another episode of Open Discussion. Now, in Open Discussion, I am regarding several topics, and of course, those of you watching from the clouds will have an opportunity to opine. Also, an opportunity to whatever topics that you want me to talk about. Other than what's going on in the Middle East between Hamas, I will complain. And of course, being that it's the anniversary of my father's death, I will share some information like regarding my father. So hopefully you'll find this information interesting. Okay. And just to let you know, I will not be live on this channel next week due to the fact that I will be going away again. And I'll probably post some pictures in my social media after the event, not before. Okay. But in any case, playback gang, your own thing, and you're allowed to enter whatever comment. Just keep the comments respectable. And of course, we're going to end this the same way we always end it. We must do everything possible to challenge being affected by the stupidity and insanity. Another episode of this. And of course, whatever you say, do for the glory of God. And with that being said, wish all of you a good night. Take care, stay blessed, and peace.
Be strong.